This week has been a week of emotional ups and emotional downs, and I considered for a very brief moment of calling it quits, just ending #AwakeYet and foregoing any of my goals in videography, because YouTube keeps removing my videos and giving me strikes against my page and shutting me down for 7 days. I have family members who disagree with me on my video content, acquaintances, I don't want to call them friends, acquaintances who ridicule me, and I get the question a lot, why do you even do these videos? You know no one's listening to you. Clearly the people who are saying that are not watching my videos, because they are also information and truth deniers, because the information I'm giving is straight, as the saying says, straight from the horse's mouth. I thought long and hard about it, and then I thought about what it was like during Nazi Germany. And of course, I believe we are paralleling that time. I believe that this is how it got started in Nazi Germany. Censorship, stifling information. You know, back when I was in school for broadcast journalism, my teacher and people that I job shadowed under would always say, do not become the news and do not create the news, but you report the news. And they said, don't be the first one to report controversial subject. They said, if you get information, you dig into that information and you make sure it's true. And it was always the agenda of the news network that I worked for, that if you reported a pro news, then you also had to report the con, opposite of. And that's not being done today. If someone says something that does not go along with the agenda, then that person is ridiculed and mocked, and their reputations are destroyed, and they're called crazy. And people believe they're crazy because they're only listening to one side. They're not bothering to do any of their own research, investigation. They've thrown common sense completely out the window. And so I got to thinking, what if I am wrong? What if everything I say is 100% wrong? Or what if it's just 10% wrong, or 50% wrong, or 60% wrong, or 90% wrong? Should I just, hang it up, walk away, quit? Because maybe only one thing I'm saying is correct and the rest I'm misled on. And I thought about the stories of the Jewish people in Nazi Germany. And when it was all said and done, after the Nuremberg trials, people would ask the citizens, did you know what was wrong? Did you know that something was going on? Did you know that this was an evil agenda? Did you know? And what did you do? And many of their responses were nothing, because they did nothing. And they knew they were wrong. But they were afraid. They were afraid to say anything because they didn't want to be considered a crazy conspiracy theorist, or going against the government, or against the agenda. They didn't want to be mocked and ridiculed by their friends and their family. They were okay with being silent. Well, I'm not okay with being silent. I'm not okay with being right on a subject, even if it's 10%. I'm not okay with being right and saying nothing. I would rather get down the road and be 100% wrong and made to be a fool than to be even 10% right and silent. Which reminds me of a story I heard recently about some teenagers that were walking on a set of railroad tracks. Now, the one teenage girl, she was walking on the track, and the others were following her beside the track, and she could hear in the distance ahead of her a train coming down the track. But she could see that the train wasn't on her track, it was on the parallel track next to her. So she thought she was safe. She could hear and feel the rumble of the train through the tracks, and she could see that what her friends perceived as danger, and they were yelling beside her to get off the track, and she could see that she was in no danger ahead of her because the train was on the other side. But what the girl failed to realize is that her friends could see what was coming up behind her. And behind her was another train coming up on the track behind her. So in life, I want to make sure that just because I perceive something as being either 100% right or 90% right, and others perceive it to be, 10% right, I see the danger ahead of me. And I can see the danger behind me, all right? I want to make sure that I'm safe from what I don't see and what I do see. So if only 10% is right, there's still danger that I don't see. And I want to make sure that I convey that to everyone. And with that said, dear YouTube, thank you for censoring my videos. Thank you for removing them from my platform. Thank you for banning me for 7 days multiple times for reporting even 10% of what's true, if nothing else. Because, you don't censor a lie. You don't. You only censor the truth because you're afraid of it doesn't fit your agenda. And I'm okay with that. Matter of fact, I wear it as a badge of honor. If my videos weren't censored and taken down, I wouldn't be doing something right. All right? Because your community standards, first of all, are so elusive, no one even knows what they are. I don't even think YouTube knows what their community standards are. Okay? And let's just be honest. The people who are setting these community standards have absolutely no moral standard of their own. So the fact that I don't measure up to their community standards makes me feel proud. I'm not the least bit upset or angry that I don't fit their mold, their agenda. I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with losing my friends, being mocked and ridiculed by my family, by, being judged by others. I'm okay with that. It doesn't bother me one bit. Because if I get down the road and this turns out to be complete genocide of a certain people group or people, then I want those people to say, at least Dana stood up and said the truth and risked her own reputation and what people thought of her and her goals of having a videography business down the road. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with giving up everything to make sure that people know the truth, that they're safe. I'm okay with that. So, dear Facebook, neener. Keep banning me. Keep censoring me. And oh, by the way, I got one last message for you, YouTube. Cha-ching.
I brought my rap, can't stop me, I make you feel my rap. Can't stop me, I brought my flow. Can't stop me, better act like you know. You can't stop me, I brought my rap. Can't stop me, I make you feel my rap. Can't stop me, I brought my flow. Can't stop me, better act like you know.